feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just always staying on the move. I'll go all night if that's just what I gotta do. Life's too short.
Chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. Look, taking the lead, we don't follow. We need it now, not tomorrow. Don't care what they say, not changing the pace. Working too hard to be last in the race. So much time in the day, and it ain't none to waste. Working this hard to be one of the greats. Whatever it takes, put that on the plate. Life is a gamble, we raising the stakes. Moving the bar up so high. Been on our grind, for life. Bringing the light, you just so bright. We shining, platinum sound cool, but we trying to reach diamond. Hard work pays off, that's perfect timing. Changing the world with this rhyming, it's priceless. We got the nicest by putting the time in. Can't be the greatest, I'm not even trying. What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. What now? We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up.
Track of time, I apologize, mama. Go ahead and eat without me. I'm still on the grind.
I ain't touching home base by dinner time. All I can see is the finish line. Started, I gotta finish mine. It's get it time, anytime, hella long. I've been in line, I didn't mind it all. Wake and bake, won't take a break at all. That's on my word, my boss. Naming lights, gonna have to pay me twice or pay me no mind, and I don't mind it all. My grind is green, I am my job to inspire. I'm right behind GOTA. Line has been fired by a chain for a time. I ain't get hired, second week kicked in, I probably won't get tired. Kevin Gates or Kevin Bacon, only 6 degrees of separation between me and the next level of elevation. Perseverance, the art of dedication.
What now? We on the chase to the sundown. We on the chase to the sun up. What's up? Leading the line when we run up. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Every day we chasing, chasing, chasing. No time to be wasted.
Hello everybody and welcome in. How's everybody doing this evening? We are back with some scheduled programming for everybody. It is our Infinite Racing League Summer GT3 series here, and again partnered with Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid. So posted in the pinned comments in the IRL YouTube and in the Facebook GT45 Gaming Facebook is a link to simgrid.com. You go and register on SimGrid. You find the Infinite Racing League on the website. You follow that league. It'll give you a Discord invite from there. When you register for races, you go into that Discord, and there is a process to follow through there as well. But that's how you do find all the pertinent information and get involved with the community here at the Infinite Racing League to get involved with our Assetto Corsa Competizione PS5 version GT3 Summer Series. Of course, raced every Sunday evening here. This is round 2, and as you can see on the screen in front of you, we're at Circuit of the Americas. Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. Hope we're all ready for our work week coming up. I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Welcome in. Tonight, Circuit of the Americas, 70 minutes, and there are some stipulations this week. So let's go and get ourselves delved in, shall we? All right, our pit strategy here this weekend is a one-stop. Fuel is required. It is a 25-second fixed fuel time, and the drivers are only limited to 3 sets of tires all weekend. So that means the drivers really need to strategize how much they're practicing, how much they're pushing and qualifying, and of course, how hard they push during the race, because they are going to have to potentially use some used up tires. We got John Grayson and Vic Daughtry coming in with the thumbs up on the streams. John, we see you, my guy. Good luck. Have a good class, and maybe you might just catch the end of the race. We are live on the GT45 Gaming Facebook and YouTube, and of course the Infinite Racing League YouTube channel as well. If you want to go throw a sub over for the IRL group there, that'd be fantastic from the community. Just head over to YouTube and put in at IRL Sim Racing, all lowercase. It'll take you right to, of course, their page. We do appreciate everybody and welcome in everyone viewing, of course, from the Infinite Racing League's YouTube channel as well. So we've been struggling a little bit with our stream here this week, so if anything comes up, please do not hesitate to let me know right away, and we'll try to make sure we keep an eye on things. Hopefully we just have a nice, good, clean, crisp, juicy broadcast here this evening. And that reminds me to record the broadcast. All right. Circuit of the Americas. It's an interesting race track. Round 1 was at Laguna Seca in Monterey, California last 2 weekends ago, pardon me. Of course, Memorial Day weekend. It was a week off for our competitors to celebrate and spend time with their families. So we come back to round 2 here in Circuit of the Americas, and this is still a technical racetrack, but it's a much more wide open, free-flowing racetrack. So as opposed to round 1, where the drivers really didn't get to open these cars up too much, they really had to be on point with a very tight, small technical racetrack, and I believe it was like a 21 car grid or 22 car grid 2 weeks ago as well. So we've got a much larger racetrack and a little more free-flowing racing racetrack here in round 2 at Circuit of the Americas. So we should see some pretty good racing action here this evening. And you guys are just getting a little dabble right now, just a little taste, as we still have about 7 minutes remaining here before we get into qualifying. So we're hanging out, we're just chilling. Huge creds, of course, to Make It Rain, one of our competitors here in the series as well, one of the staff members here at the Infinite Racing League, coming up with that great intro video there that we get to bring in each week's broadcast with. And there's some more fun things coming from this gentleman in the future as well, so be on the lookout for something new coming from the great organization of staff members here at Infinite Racing League. So a great organization to work with. We're definitely proud to be here and honored to be a commentator here in the series. And this is our 2nd season now with the Infinite Racing League here for this GT3 Sunday series. And boy, last season was fantastic. This season should be no different. Now, the weather, I do believe that the weather, if I'm not mistaken, I could have it mixed up with a different series, but I do believe that the weather is actually based off of real weather in real time. So the temperature at the racetrack location here in real life is what these drivers are going to be racing under condition-wise. So all the practice in the world that they put in can only do so much, because it's going to be based off what that actual temperature is at Circuit of the Americas currently right now on racetrack. So I do believe that they are putting real-time weather into the series, not just this series, but all the series ran here at the Infinite Racing League, if I'm not mistaken. But it adds a fun little factor, so I think it's awesome. I think that it throws an absolute wrench into the program for the racers. I think that it's not something that you can properly prepare for, but it needs to be something you need to be prepared for. I think that it really throws in a big strategic factor into a season. So, great ideas coming from the Infinite Racing League here on a set of Corsa Competition. Again, this is PS5 version 2, so if you are a PS5 user and you're thinking about getting into set of Corsa Competition, but you're not sure where to find some racing leagues, Infinite Racing League is definitely the place for you. Follow that link pinned in the Facebook comments or in the IRL YouTube, and just follow the process. Register on SimGrid and then look for Infinite Racing League. Follow, of course, the organization, and then you can see what they have up for racing. They do have Europe divisions as well for all of our European viewers, drivers, and racers out there. So it is for everybody, and everybody is welcome. We got Scott Arthur coming in with the thumbs up. Nick Brewster coming in with the thumbs up. Mr. Nick Brewster, legend up in the house. We got Egon coming in with the heart on the stream. I see you, my guy. I see you. GVG in the house. That is what we love to see. Alright, so we are 4 minutes away from qualifying, and then we'll put you on the big screen. I know you just want to see what's happening on the racetrack. Well, you get a little teaser at the bottom right-hand side of the screen for now. That's all we're going to give you. That's just the way it works. So, we are not live on our Twitch channel here tonight. I'm not sure, but we have to do some refining over there. So we are going to go live a little bit later here tonight on our Twitch channel. We're going to do something a little different here this evening. So we're going to bring back some old school to the stream, but we are going to be live over on Twitch TV later after this broadcast for the Infinite Racing League. So Twitch TV for GT45 Gaming, of course, becoming our new variety channel. That is where all our outside sim racing ACC GT7 content will be broadcast in the future. So the other side of Ghost, away from the family-friendly booth of commentary here. Basically, I'm no legend. I'm a bum. Oh, I beg to differ, my guy. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. What do you think, Chad? I think that Ghost Viper Gaming is a legend. I don't know. I mean, you're my inspiration. You're what got me really locked in and focused in on the sport, and I feel like I owe you and your community a lot to where I am today. So I think you're a legend. You'll never change my mind. Alright, everything is looking pretty good for the stream for tonight, so that's fantastic. I'm happy to see that. Alright, streamer problems, gotta love them. Hey, how's it going, RW Racing? Let's go Ripe Jazz. We got Rowdy Burns in 51 here going good luck tonight, everyone, as well, over on IRL. We see you guys. We appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channels as well and you like what you're seeing so far, do us a favor. Hit that like and share for us. Free thing you can do to help the channels grow. And if you don't want to see more, you want to see great racing action every Sunday from the Infinite Racing League, hit that subscribe button over there on the YouTube channel or the follow on Facebook. Turn on that little bell notification, and every time we have some ACC racing from the Infinite Racing League, you guys will get that notification and never miss any of the live action. And if you can't watch it live, that's alright, because it'll be pre-recorded sitting on the channel available to you for you to view at your own viewing pleasure when you do have time as well. So never a moment missed here at the Infinite Racing League GT3 Summer Series, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is more entertaining than the NBA Finals. This is for the first time I've caught a race. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Yellow? Welcome in. We appreciate y'all. Hope everybody's doing great. We got Nick coming in with that share on the stream as well. I appreciate you, my guy. We'll appreciate that extra level of support. No fam, this is all you, sir. Keep pushing hard, but it's worth it. It is, absolutely. So, minute 40, chat, and we're going to get to qualifying. So we're going to see a 20-minute qualifying session. When qualifying starts, we'll flip you to the big screen. We'll get all the good stuff happening. And we'll take a look and see what our driver's list looks like here tonight. So the signups are done on SimGrid for these championship races. So you do need to be a part of the SimGrid website in order to be a part of the series. From there, you can get into the Discord server where, of course, there's a lot more broke down information. Of course, that's where a large part of the community hangs out as well. So you want to become a part of the Infinite Racing League fam jam. You definitely want to be in a Discord server because, hey, that's where all the magic happens. And I got to tell you, it gets a little risque after dark over there in that server. So it's a great place to be, great place to hang out. Lots of good vibes and good times being had over there for sure as well. So as a broadcaster, there's a lot to keep up with, but Facebook as well. Hey, let's get it. Hey, I'm good. Hoping that I have enough time to do the driving series this summer for you guys. Hey, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Real life has got to factor in, obviously. You know, we all have real lives. We got families, kids, summer's coming, school's going to be out soon. Oh, no. No, YouTube. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, boy. Alright, I apologize, everybody. We're still apparently experiencing some difficulties with our with the stream here. We're going to shut down a couple extra windows. And, see if we can recover the poor stream here. If not, we are recording it. We will upload it onto the channels after the broadcast. If it does go down, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, I have not fixed the problem yet, so we're just doing a couple things, trying to get it to come back here. Alright, Mr. Streamlabs, why? Why, oh why are we having such a rough time today? right. Well, hopefully it holds on here. All right. Oh, there we go. We got 16 drivers on our grid here today. Let's take it over to the big screen. All right, there we go. Big screen time. We're still just monitoring the stream here at the moment. All right, so we are under qualifying conditions here. So we can see we've got 16 drivers on the track. We got Ripe Jazz, we got Make It Rain, we got Darmel, Fluka, Scary Guy for You, Griffin 283, we got Rigo C24, GLRCO, Cletus, Tango 2. We got Basilico back. He is a quick driver. We got Nacho Gearbox. We got Marcio here. We got JDR. We've got Johnny B. And we've got Ram 317 on the grid here tonight for our 70-minute endurance race. So let's sit on board with Gearbox for a minute here as he makes his way around the track. And I'm going to fumble around with the stream here just for a minute. Right. We're just taking a little peeksies here, chat. Just taking a little peeksies. See what we can do here. Alright, we're just going to try and bring everything back up on Facebook here and see what's going on. As soon as I find the right spot. Facebook makes it really hard to find anything anymore. Alright, we have a live video up. How's everybody doing tonight? So it seems to be holding up. That much I can say. I can't see the dashboard anymore now, but it's definitely going, at least. Alright, well, that works for me. As long as it holds up here. I don't know how it's hanging over there on YouTube right now. You could be experiencing a little bit of sound glitching, maybe a little bit of video lag. If that is the case, I do apologize. Of course, we're recording it, so we will, again, upload it if we need to. Have enough time to drive in the final week, and I'm spending all day, every day racing. Facts. Let's go Ripe Jazz. He was on controller last week, but on a T300 out. Nice wheel. I own one myself. Let's go. Mercio. Oh, look at all the fans coming in. We love to see that. Welcome in, everybody. We love to see everybody coming in and cheering all the drivers on. So that's what it's all about. That's why we bring it live, so we can cheer our favorite drivers on, whether they're family or they're friends or they're just somebody we know in the sim racing community, maybe a teammate. But we love to see that. All right, let's get to the broadcast here and quit worried about the stream, and hopefully the stream holds up here for us tonight. JDR here in 14th right now, and some guys haven't even gotten onto the track to start qualifying yet. We got Johnny B sitting here in 15th. We got Make It Rain in 5th. We got Darmel in apparently jumping off the track. We got Cletus here sitting currently in first place, so pole position, but it was just stolen there as he drops down into second place. We're not sure who took it. Tango 2 is currently sitting in 12th. Ram hasn't come out yet. Marcial's in 4th. Ripe Jazz is sitting here in 6th, and he's in that NSX. We got Basilico in the NSX as well. We got Darmel, there he is in 8th place, and he's in Ferrari here again this week, so different car this series for Darmel out of that Aston Martin. We got Fluka in the Ferrari here as well. We've got Griffin in the Ferrari. Got a Mercedes with a Rigo here, and of course that classic BWT livery, gotta love it. Got Nacho Gearbox here also in a Mercedes. We've got the Lamborghini of JDR here. We've got the Audi of Scary Guy for You. We got some BMWs on the track as well. Another Audi with Johnny B, again last season's champion. Make It Rain here for Team McLaren. There we go. GR Seal, LR Seal, pardon me, for Team BMW number 555 driver here. And currently sitting in 12th, so it's Fluka sitting in first place currently for that Ferrari. We'll sit on board here with Cletus just for a moment as Cletus comes around the racetrack. So we are going to just keep on rolling with the action here. Okay. Oh, okay. We got GT45 Gaming coming in with the like on the stream. It's been a while since I've liked my own stream. All right. We love that. So now Cletus dropping down into third place here. So drivers starting to lock into their laps here. We got Tango 02 in sixth place currently. He just dropped down a spot there as we jumped over to him here. He's in that BMW as well. So not hard to see this gentleman on the racetrack. So should be able to easy to remember. And again, some of these drivers maybe just opting to start from the back of the pack, maybe trying to, again, they're only allowed 3 sets of tires here in the series today. So boy, this thing really is giving me grief today. Come on, stream. Play nice, please. The viewers just want to see some racing. All right, we got game sound. We're back in action. Here we go. So it is Ripe Jazz here. He is sitting in 8th place here currently. Let's see as he comes across here. You can see our flag man doing a great job there. He's waving that green flag as Ripe comes across and is going to stay in 8th place. So last lap was a 2:11. Best lap is a 2:11.112. So that was his best lap that time around. Darmel's currently sitting in pole position now, and a 2:08.945 currently the fastest lap around the racetrack here, and we still have about 5 3/4 minutes remaining here in qualifying, so there's enough time for these drivers to get 2 or 3 more laps in here yet. Fluke is in second with a 2:08.980, and that's separation only by 4/100ths of a second right now currently between him and pole position. Griffin 283 sitting here in 12th place and hasn't clocked in a valid lap here yet this qualifying session. We've got Rigo here in 4th place, and he's in that Mercedes looking good with a 2:09.585, so about a half second, 3/4 of a second off our pole sitters there. We have Nacho Gearbox there, and we're just going to backtrack a second. He's sitting in 6th place currently with a 2:10.3, so a little bit of pace separation here from some of the drivers, but again, we do have pros, pro-ams, AMs, rookies, all mixed into one big old fat juicy race here tonight, so it should be pretty interesting. We got JDR, hasn't come out yet to run any laps. We got Scary Guy here at 11th, and Johnny B is at a 2:11.130, but is red on this lap, so might be coming out of pit lane there. Make It Rain here in 5th place at 2:10.1 from this driver in quite a ways up. Let's stick with Make It Rain here as he finishes up his lap here in qualifying with 4.5 minutes remaining, of course, in the qualifying session. Let's see if he can capitalize on this and jump up the grid a little bit here. He's almost a full second up on that best lap right now, which again is a 2:10.1, so that puts him at a 2:09 flat almost. Which should give him about maybe a 3rd, 4th place sitting here. So not much, but every position up the grid definitely matters when it comes down to race starts. So let's just stay with him here. He's almost 1.1 seconds up on his personal best time here in this number 76 McLaren. Let's stick with him here as he continues to roll around. Yeah, alright, this connection is looking like it's starting to settle down here a little bit, so that's fantastic. We got Stefan coming in with that thumbs up on stream. How you doing, my dude? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend, my guy. So Make It Rain, what did he come there? Oh, and he got red. He went red. He had a track limit violation there, and that is super unfortunate as he was really on a lap there, so, oof. Oof, that one hurts. That one definitely hurts. We've got GLR Seal here in the BMW. He's currently sitting in 10th place at 210.885. So the drivers are starting to tighten up these times here a little bit. Cletus is sitting there with a 209.390 currently. So if Make It Rain could have capitalized on that huge up he was in there, he could have potentially put himself up into a P3 position. Darmel's now back in second. It looks like Fluke is back up in pole position. So those two swapping fastest laps around here through qualifying. Ram 317 here, he is sitting at 16th. It looks like he's just going to start at the back of the pack here. We got Arcano Marcio here. He is back with that Porsche. And it looks like the only Porsche on our field here tonight, sitting in 7th place currently, 210.3. So it was fun to watch him race around. We've got that bright green NSX of Critico Basilico here in 14th position as well. And he had a fantastic race in round 1 there at Laguna Seca, and unfortunately for him, ending in disaster as the car got pretty wrecked and had to put that thing behind pit wall before the end of the race. So some unfortunate undoings for that driver, but definitely has the pace to put lots of pressure on the front runners here in the field today. Fluka looking solid though here in pole position, a 208.697 currently right now from this Ferrari driver, and I believe Fluka missed round 1 here at Laguna Seca, so definitely going to be looking to try and take advantage and grab as many points as he can here in round 2 to get himself situated into the standings and see where he stands moving into round 3 next weekend. And round 3 next weekend we head back over into the UK and we're heading to Donington Park, so should be a pretty juicy race next week here from the Infinite Racing League as well. Again, this is partnered with Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid, and if you want to find out more and you want to get involved on the PS5 version ACC racing events here at Infinite Racing League, just follow the SimGrid links provided in the pinned comment sections and sign up on SimGrid. Find Infinite Racing League, toss them a follow, and join in to their Discord server. Hey, let's go, Fluka. How's it going, Triple Threat? How you doing, my guy? Welcome in, welcome in. All right, fantastic. Feel a little more comfortable about the streams rolling here. So 37 seconds left in qualifying here. The drivers that are currently running right now and may still have a crack at bettering their time will continue on. The rest that don't will most likely just get out of the way of the drivers on track trying to get those hot laps put in for the final time. So let's just follow with Rigo here. I'm not sure where he is. There he is. He's just coming around the final corner there right now, and camera guy building up that big old suspense for us here. And again, the capture card is really acting up tonight. I apologize. Hopefully everything starts to settle down on the streaming end here. Not too sure why, but it is giving us grief. So Rigo staying currently in 5th place. That could change as we still have some drivers coming around. We do have what looks like Nacho on a red lap here, so this one won't count from him. Let's get on with JDR here in the Lamborghini, who is currently up on his time. Right now it's a 210.390, so looking to improve his time here if he can hold the green sectors together. So the number 430 Lamborghini driver here, currently 0.3 of a second up on his qualifying time best here. And right at the end of qualifying, this is the perfect time to put in your best lap in the session here as well. So let's see what he can do here with this Lamborghini around the last few corners around the racetrack here. And losing a little bit of time there through that sector, and it's going to be nip and tuck. He's really going to have to make the next couple corners really count here as he sets up for his final push heading into the start-finish line. We got one driver there bouncing off, realizing he's not up. So JDR is very nip and tuck on improving that time, but even a small improvement can move him up 1 or 2 spots on this grid before the race starts here today. So still got about 2 minutes remaining here, so he's got plenty of time to get around the racetrack, and a nice tight 175 degree corner right here. Handles that quite well as he comes around. This is a tough sector here on COTA here as well. It's a very hard switchback style setup of hard right and left hand corners, looping you in all different directions around this racetrack until you get back facing into the right direction. So a couple more corners to go here, and we're going to call this a qualifying lap. So Very close to that best time of 2:10.3 right now is JDR, but still in the green, so still in the good as he comes around here. Alrighty, here we go. What's it going to be? He is definitely going to improve here, but how much is undetermined. Oh, and he gets robbed of his lap there. So it is going to be a 10th place here for JDR, and well, that is qualifying. So let's go back to the garage and let's go see what that final results are. So it is Critical Basilico with a 207.745. Johnny B is going to come in sitting second place with a 208 flat, basically. We have Fluka right there just behind in third place, Darmel in fourth. Excuse me. We have Cletus here in fifth place. We've got Regal in sixth. We've got Tango 2 in seventh. We've got Griffin 283 in eighth. We've got Make It Rain in ninth. We've got JDR in 10th. We've got Arcano Marcio in 11th. Nacho Gearbox in 12th. GLR Seal in 13th position. Ripe Jazz in 14th. Scary Guy for You in 15th. And Ram 317 here in 16th position. We got 16 drivers on the racetrack, so we will follow with Griffin 1, 2, 3. When our race starts. So, appreciate you, Nick. Appreciate you. Both Ripe Jazz and Carnamosia are RWR drivers. Good luck, boys. Hey, there we go. There we go. RW Racing there. RWR drivers, ladies and gentlemen, in the house representing. Coming and cheering on the team. We love that. We do love that here. We appreciate you all tuning in. So, hopefully we got the sneezes out of the system. 70 minutes here this evening. So, a little more than that typical 1 hour race. So, one-stop strategy is probably most certainly in play here. Of course, it is a required pit stop for a 25-second mandatory fuel refill here tonight. So, with that being said, the drivers do have time to take a set of tires in that 25-second window without costing themselves any extra time. So, that may play into the strategy. So, one-stop strategy definitely a big one that's going to happen here in the race today. Two-stop strategy, maybe potentially possibility as well. We did see some drivers not opt to go out and spend a lot of time in qualifying, as these drivers are going to have to start on those qualifying race tires here to start the race as well. So, hard to say which strategy is going to be the key strategy here. Again, the drivers only have 3 sets of tires allowed to be used this weekend here in the series. So, ACC on PS5 definitely getting real deep into racing here now. And, well, we're just a short few minutes away here. And this is interesting. This is a nice new one here that I haven't seen in a while. So you can see the drivers are setting up their tunes, and maybe there's something I don't know here, but there we go. So the drivers are on the grid here. So now we're going to see something that might catch you off guard if you're not familiar with the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform here today. So if you are new to what we're doing here on ACC, I'll give you a little rundown on what's going to happen here. So we see all the cars lined up on the start-finish line in the position that they qualified in over the last 20 minutes. So what's going to happen here now is you're going to see the cars bounce around a little bit. That's the drivers just setting up their final tunes in the race cars and getting prepared to start the race. So when this 2.5 minute timer at the top of the screen finally does run out, what will happen is race control will give the drivers directions to start driving, and we'll do a virtual pace car lap around the racetrack for 1 lap. So that's going to give the drivers an opportunity to build some air pressure up in their tires, warm up the brakes a little bit, try to get a little bit of traction and stuff ready to go for, of course, when the green flag drops. So as they come around the final corner, the pit car will, of course, virtual safety car, of course, will disappear, and race control will tell these drivers to line up 2 by 2. They will control the speed that these drivers do come around the corner and get ready to head up the start finish line. From there, once they're lined up, they have to maintain a certain amount of speed until the green flag drops and the leader starts the race. You're not allowed to pass until the start finish line, or race control, of course, will hand out penalties for that as well. So we see things done a little bit differently here in the Assetto Corsa Competizione side of things than we're used to seeing a GT7. So for those of you that are new and just tuning in and haven't seen an Assetto Corsa Competizione broadcast race yet, that is what we're about to see over the next 3 minutes or so of our broadcast. And when that green flag drops, all the racing action happens here at GT45 Gaming and Infinite Racing League. We appreciate all your support. Get those drinks refreshed, get the snacks ready. I think we're in for a doozy here tonight. It looks very hot on that racetrack. It is 30 degrees Celsius outside. The track temperature is 38 degrees Celsius currently at what is about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere in around there. So when our timer runs out here, we will be able to get on the track and get out of the garage here, and then of course we'll be able to get back to all the great camera angles that our TV production crews here at Assetto Corsa do provide for us to use. And 16 drivers on the track here at COTA, lots of great points available of the 30-car grid that is here today. And let's get rid of all this extra information here for this race start. Let's just let you guys see it all happen, all the magic work out. And this is a really great starting system here in the Assetto Corsa Competizione. I love the rolling formation lap. I think that it creates a little more of an organized racing start, especially when you have 30 cars on the grid. Tonight we only have 16, so a little bit surprised to see that, but it is summertime. It's getting nice outside, and again, you know, real life takes over. So we typically like to start up a little bit earlier in the field. So let's get back to our guy Griffin here in 8th place. And they have made some changes in spectator mode recently. Maybe there's a little patch update or something that I haven't noticed, but we can remove information without the game crashing now, so we can hit the square button again. That's fantastic. Alright, we'll test the keyboard functionality out at some point here as well, but welcome in everybody, and I hope we're getting ready as our drivers take their pace lap around COTA here tonight for our 70-minute endurance race. Again, it is a one-stop mandatory 25-second fuel window. It has to be for 25 seconds minimum, and 3 sets of tires only allowed here this weekend. So weather obviously going to factor into that tire strategy, and we are getting ready to go racing. Jake going boo. How you doing, Jake, my guy? Hope you're doing wonderful. Want to talk about legends? This man's coming in all the way from the UK here right now to stop it and see what we got going on here at IRL. Appreciate you, my guy. Alrighty, so on board with our 8th place driver, Griffin 283, number 83 Ferrari, and we're about halfway around our Circuit of the Americas road course here tonight. And eventually, we're going to see these drivers line up 2 by 2, and we're going to get a juicy race start going here. Hey, appreciate you. Hey, let's go GT45, Mr. Paul Blomstrom up in the house. How we all doing? I am having some issues with my Facebook dashboard right now, so if I've missed any comments or any alerts, I do apologize, but we do appreciate that support still nonetheless. Alright, let's go see what's popping over on YouTube here. Look at these guys are kicking it. Hey, appreciate your ego. Appreciate you, my guy. We're sneezy today. We're definitely sneezy today. Whoop whoop, Timmy. Hey, what's up, Roses? How you doing, my guy? Alright, so race control is going to start doubling these guys up here pretty soon. And, well, you'll know it when you see it, because everybody will kind of jam up a little bit, and then we'll get this race started. So 16 drivers enter here tonight. Hopefully 16 drivers leave with fully functioning race cars here this evening at Circuit of the Americas. This is round 2 of our GT3 Summer Series, and we're kicking it. It could very well be, Jake. Could very well be. As we get older, you just never know. I can't spell. Neither can I half the time. Oh, it's all good, brother. All right, so the drivers starting to line up 2 by 2 here. So race control is definitely in the radios right now. And we are going to get ready to go green flag racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing. On board with our 8th place driver, Griffin 283, to get ready to start our 70-minute endurance here at COTA today. So let us go as we come around the final corner. And it is time to burn some rubber. Let's do it. All right. The long, impatient, slow drive to the flag guy sitting in the stand there on the right-hand center side of the screen. When you see that flag wave, these drivers are going to be able to go. We are waiting. We're waiting. And we're green, 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 and we are racing, and here we go. All right, looking for a clean race start here as 16 GT3 cars barrel down into the first sector here at COTA. A tight little left-hand hairpin corner leading into a flowing section. We're going to see some cars running off as we're seeing off in the background, but so far, so good. 3 wide as we're coming down into the first little straightaway here, and they sort themselves out quickly. A little bit of tire rubbing happening there. No harm, no foul, and everybody very quickly sorting themselves out here on lap 1. We love to see it. So far, so good. Clean start from these drivers here today. Fantastic stuff. Track is hot. It's very hot outside. The drivers are going to be under some very tough racing conditions. The Mercedes looking inside there and looking like he was getting the job done. So Ferrari being very patient and behind Tango 2, I believe that is in front of them currently here right now. So let's bring that UC back up. So Griffin 283 up into P7 here to start this race. A great two-way battle. It looks like they're for some position up in the front of the pack if we can find it. There we go. On board with Johnny B banging right now, our race leaders. So he has taken that away from Critical Basilico, and these two had a pretty healthy battle last week as well. And MX Bloxham coming in with the big win at the end of the week, but not here this week. So opportunity for the drivers to chase our current championship point standings leader. All right, let's see. Let's keep rocking. What do we got? Oh, we got a car off the track just in front here. Looks like we got 2 cars off the track. Looks like Tango 2 is one of those cars involved off the track. We got Griffin still rolling here in 6th place. Make-A Rame is going to benefit there. He's going to grab a couple of positions. He's going to move up into P9 here. Oh, and Ferrari down and out. Stage right. Great job to gather up. He's going to try and get on the track as safely as possible. Always thinking about those oncoming cars. Great job there by Griffin 283 to get back on the track, not cause another incident, and get back into this race. So, tense moments here early on in the races. Again, these drivers still got to get these tires up to optimal temperatures. They got to get those brake pads warmed up to really get the maximized grip and stopping power out of these cars. So some of these guys might not quite have those things ready to go here yet in these cars. And, well, some of them just going a little bit outside the track limits here to start off this race. GLR Seal here in 13th place. This is a great cluster of cars. Oh, we got a couple cars bouncing over the sausage curbs coming out of the exit there. And that's going to be tough on the suspension. And that was the BMW of Tango 2 there we see. So we got GLR Seal here. He's on the back of a very large group here right now. A little bit of a lag spike there, I believe, as we see one of the cars maybe go into pit lane there. I'm not sure what we're seeing there, but all right, let's keep going. We've got Cletus here in 5th place right now, and he is just tucked in behind Fluka of the Ferrari, and his teammate Darmel just up ahead of him there in those pink and purple blue Ferraris. So great looking paint jobs here on that Team Ferrari setup right there as well. But we are on board with BMW driver, number 41 driver here, Cletus, and he's been a pretty good, strong, solid competitor here in the Sunday GT3 Championship Series at IRL as well. So he's always a driver to be looking out for here, and he was for a large part of the practice session before qualifying here on the racetrack in the lead of that practice session as far as pace was going. So he definitely clearly does have some pace in that BMW. Color of the Raris, hey, absolutely gorgeous. All right, come on, stream. You can hang in there. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Right now, fastest driver on the racetrack is the driver we're on board with here as he moves up into 4th place there as well. It's a 2:24.585. Now, we are going to see those times obviously come down. We were seeing him down into the 2:08s, 2:07s from our front runners in qualifying. So, again, as these drivers lose some fuel weight and they start to get those tires warmed up, we will start to see these lap times really come down quickly. We've got Ram 317 who started at the back of the pack here tonight, all the way up into 9th position. We've got Arcano Marcio here up into 8th place with that Porsche, and he has Griffin 283 with that Ferrari all over the back end of him here. So a great little battle happening here. Let's stick with these two for a minute as they battle it out here for 7th and 8th place. Oh, and we got a Ferrari off the racetrack right there, taking out a couple number boards as well. So that's the Ferrari of Darmel as they come around the racetrack there, and maybe a little bit of glitching happening in the lobby here right now is what I'm seeing. A little bit of lag spiking happening, but some spicy racing is ready to go 3 wide into the first corner here. Darmel's going to look to get the position. A little bit of contact between Marcio and Griffin there And Darmel's just going to get the power down and just keep it out ahead here. So the Porsche driver side by side now with the Ferrari driver, and we're still locked into a great battle here, but it looks like Marcio is going to grab that position and just hold off that Ferrari driver, but losing one position there to Darmel up in front. So Darmel grabbing 2 spots there in that 3-way tussle going into corner 1, and just a tiny little bit of contact between the Porsche and the yellow and red Ferrari there, but it doesn't look like it did too much damage to those race cars. But now allowing Ram to get caught back up into the back of this pack, and this is a great healthy fight here very early on in the race. We are only on lap 2, so I think we're going to see some great racing action tonight. Ripe Jazz here in that NSX, currently running in the top 10 here, holding down that 10th position. He has GLR Seal in behind in the BMW, but a nice little gap there right now, so a little bit of comfort there for that driver. Johnny B starting to open up a gap, is 2.3 seconds on Critico here in second place. We know this driver is definitely quick. He showed that in round 1, so interesting to see what he's going to have here in round 2. Darmel had a rough round 1 race at Laguna Seca, eventually finally parking that car behind the wall due to damage, and definitely going to be looking for recovery drive here today, and he has been pushing hard here so far. Now he's coming back up to the back of Make It Rain here, who says is in 6th place, but clearly obviously is in 5th place, as they're not a lap down yet very early on in the race here. So as they cross the timing, it should sort itself back out. 3rd place driver Fluka here is 2.4 seconds behind Critico, and has Cletus really starting to kind of apply a little pressure, and as he goes a little bit wide there into the marbles, that might allow Cletus to gain a little bit of time here. But let's get back to this mid-pack fight here. We got Griffin now up in front of Arcano, so Griffin has found his way around Marcio for the time being, and he's starting to open up just a tiny little gap here as they come in. But the Porsche gets a great run coming out of the final corner there and closes up half of the distance to that Ferrari up in front. And look at this pack of cars as they come down, and we got a battle happening here. It looks like Ram getting a great exit there as well, and he is starting to apply some pressure on that Porsche up in behind. So we're going to stick with the Ferrari driver here, as this is kind of a 3-way battle right now. We got a couple of good healthy little battles happening here on the racetrack right now currently. All right, let's keep ripping through our field here and see what we see. We've got JDR here in 12th place with that blue and white Lamborghini. We got Scary Guy for You sitting in 16th here. Johnny B in the race lead. There we go. Let's get down to this here. Let's watch this little battle between number 76 McLaren driver Make It Rain and number 420 driver Darmel in the Ferrari. And let's see if we see a little happenings in between these two drivers, as Darmel was up there in pace with the front of the pack, so he made a mistake there. Now he's just trying to regain some positions here very early on in the race. So again, some of these drivers qualified, did lots of practice on these tires, may have a worn set out of tires, and some of these drivers that didn't push their cars so hard in the practice and the qualifying are going to be on better rubber, so at some point that may also factor into race strategy here today. Here we go, side by side is Darmel and Make It Rain here, and we're going to have a battle for position here for 5th and 6th place. And it looks like Make It Rain there, not really fighting that too much. He just realized that Darmel had the position. He just held on to the racing line right there, and Darmel just scoops that up nice and clean. No time lost for both drivers, so smart decision making here from Make It Rain as well. And he's just going to settle back into the backside of that Ferrari and just follow him around the track here a little bit, maybe get an opportunity and set up a pass later on here in the race. GLR Seal here in 11th place right now, and looking pretty good here as well, as he's starting to close in a little bit on Ripe Jazz. Cletus in 4th place, and Fluka 1 second gap between these two drivers, so just keeping them right there, keeping them within striking distance, as a little bit of a gap starting to open up on 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd, but definitely a battle potentially brewing here between 4th and 3rd place at some point here. We've got Tango 2 here in 16th, so potentially making a pit stop or making a mistake here on the racetrack, maybe to fix those damage. He was one of those cars we did see off track in an earlier incident here at the race start, so you can see that BMW quite loose there, so maybe the tire's a little bit cold on that BMW. You can see quite a bit of front end damage on that car as well. Ram 317 here in 8th place, and it looks like Arcano now is up in behind him, so Ram 317 has found his way around Arcano Marcial here so far, but very early race yet. We still have 60 minutes remaining yet of this race. This is only 10 minutes, and it's been pretty spicy here so far, but the driver's quickly settling in. It's basically my Ferrari, the number and everything. I know, right? I know. Pretty darn close, Jake. Pretty darn close. buffering going on here. All right. So everybody's just settling in here right now, and very quickly the racers settle in. I figured we'd see a lot of hard fighting action here. Mr. Fuentes coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. Hope you're doing well, my dude. But very early on, the drivers have just kind of settled in. Now we do have, again, varying drivers. We have pros, we have pro-ams, we have ams, we may have some rookies on the grid here today, and that's why I say it's open to every style of driver, whether you're just a new driver just learning how to race and getting involved with leagues, or you're an experienced league racer. It is open to all varieties of racers here, and well, this set of course is a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. And of course the community is there to help you along the way, give you tips and tricks and pointers to help you out too as well. So it is it's pretty great. We got Critico here in second place. He is 3.3 seconds in behind Johnny B, and Johnny B trying to open up the pace a little bit. We got Brandon coming in with that like and a share on the stream as well. Hope you're doing fantastic as well, my dude. I'm not sure. Maybe conservative strategy coming here from Critico, but Johnny B is on a tear here right now in the lead with that Audi. So it'll be interesting to see how Critico responds to that. We got Darmel, and Darmel's all the way down into 7th place here now. So Tango 2 has cleared that pit stop. I was correct on that assessment. So his stop is done and cleared here now for this race. So maybe probably a little bit of an unscheduled pit stop for that driver, but nonetheless it is cleared. Now he can focus on trying to make that recovery drive here around the racetrack. So Darmel in 7th place, and he has been up and down this field here all day long, and maybe just getting used to this Ferrari potentially here is this driver. As like I said, normally we see him in that Aston Martin, but starting to see some pressure from Ram 317 in behind here now. Let's go to his teammate Fluka here, who's up in 3rd place. Now Cletus has been kind of tracking him down ever so slightly here, and Cletus has got that under a second now, that gap. So fairly close pace for these two drivers, and maybe a little bit of strategy just coming from Cletus here so far, but very, very patient driving here so far up front in the start of this race. It's all good, my guy. It's all good, Brandon. No worries. We appreciate you, though, my dude. All right, so Fluka in the other pink and blue Ferrari, purple and blue Ferrari, I suppose. Cruising here right now, sitting in 3rd place. Teammate there in 7th place. Ooh, a good little battle between Make It Rain and Griffin. 283 here. Ooh, a little bit of contact there on the corner exit there. And are both cars okay? Absolutely. So a little bit of door handle rubbing here and a little bit of paint swapping going on here between Ferrari and this McLaren right now, but Make It Rain doing a great job here at holding down the position here so far. I thought Griffin was going to get it from him there, but with a little bit of contact, he backed out, gave the position back. So great sportsmanship here showing on the track tonight so far as well by these drivers, and he's just going to fight him back. He's going to set back up and behind him, and he's going to re-attempt to set up that move, and he obviously wants to do it cleanly. So we got some good racing here. This mid-pack is going to be where all the action is today. You can tell just by how this race has started already. Very, very closely paced drivers here. It seems to be these mid-ship engine cars here around COTA today that seem to be really having some exceptional racing happening. We do have that Ram 317 in that BMW, though. We're really starting to put some pressure on these mid-engine cars here, though, right now. Here we go. We got a cut back. Oh, we're seeing an attempted cut back there and a little bit of jostled exit from both those drivers, allowing Darmel and Ram 317 to kind of close the door in on these guys a little bit. So as they continue to jostle and battle for position here, the other two drivers, and a mistake made by Make It Rain right there. He's going to take the off run right there. And race control, of course, will give him a track limit warning for sure for that one. But instead of taking out the pack, just taking the runoff there, and well, that'll close out the battle for the time being. But I believe you only get 3 strikes. Oh, and there it is. Make It Rain's going to get a drive-through penalty for track limits, and he will have 3 laps to serve that. So just as we're talking about a race control dropping the hammer on our 5th place driver, and boy, oh boy, that's going to hurt his charge here through the field today. He is going to have to make something happen here in the latter part of this race to recover from that stop and go penalty, a drive-through penalty, pardon me. So, tough one there for Make It Rain. Rigo here in the 13th place, and he's just chilling right now. He's just doing his thing here. Driver number 911, and looking real good. We love to see it. We've got Nacho Gearbox here in 14th as well, and I'm only seeing 15 here on the track. Now, did we lose one? Not sure. Don't think so. All right, JDR here started in 10th place, down into 12th place here currently right now in the Lamborghini, but hasn't honestly looked... Oh, we got Marcio spinning coming out of the corner there. As you can see him on the infield, losing a couple positions as well. So JDR, Rigo, and Alda and group here coming in on this as well. So potentially some battling happening here. As you can see, Marcio's got some pressure right now. Let's try to get to that battle here. Nope, wrong group. Come on, you know you want to. And it's, what do we got? Ripe Jazz here at 9th place with Arcano just in behind in 10th place. And Tango 2, currently a blue flag marker right now. Of course, obviously having to make that pit stop a little bit earlier, so out of pit stop sequence. So the drivers are definitely going to have to make their way around him. I doubt he's just going to make it simple and easy on them, as obviously he's going to be looking to get that lap back once all these other drivers do make their pit stops. So I like the red-yellow design on that. Facts. Limited to our livery designing here on ACC, so the drivers do a pretty good job with their limitations for sure, but the cars are always looking spectacular coming out on the racetrack every week, and that we definitely appreciate. And, well, I mean, a set of cores that just rocks. Plain and simple. All right. Taking a quick look at everything, make sure everything's still running. We got Critical here in second position still, and Johnny B now 4.6 seconds up the road in the lead of this race. So got the lead very early on and hasn't looked back since. Darmel, he's been up and down in this field through the top 1 to 8 positions here so far in the very early doings of this race. We're not even quite 20 minutes in yet. And he has gained and lost more positions than any other driver in the field here so far currently, I believe, in the race. Right now putting some pressure on Griffin 283, so we're going to stick with this. We're going to see if he can get the job done. Oh, and a little bit of contact there between the two drivers, and that's going to send Darmel into the marbles a little bit. And definitely some elbows out racing happening here tonight from our group of drivers here. There is definitely some paint being exchanged on some of these cars there. And here we go. There's a light flash coming from Griffin 283 and behind. Maybe a hey, I'm sorry, mate, but that allow opens up a position for Ram 317 to try and get inside there. And he just couldn't get the run to hang it on the outside there. Maybe he just backed off and he's going to wait to try and set it up in a better spot. But we get Ram 317 now putting some pressure on Griffin 283 there as well in 8th place. So 6th place Darmel here trying to make his way back up through the field, and definitely getting some pressure from Griffin here. We got Make It Rain coming in to serve that drive-through penalty here as the drivers come around the final corner. Ooh, and a mistake made there by Darmel. You see him get over those sausage curves, and that's going to be enough to get that Ferrari up at the inside of the purple and blue Ferrari. So it's side-by-side action here from the two Ferraris. Oh, and what a move from Darmel as he goes outside in. Can he hold the corner? No, he's not going to be able to hold the brakes, and Griffin 283 is going to get the position back. That was a big move there by Darmel, but he just missed that braking point and just going to have to sit there and watch that whole field now drive away and around the corner before he can get back on track. So all the way down to 12th place there, and that was an unfortunate situation there for Darmel. So back on the charge now is our 420 Ferrari driver here today. Fluka here sitting in 4th place and has now lost 3rd place here from Cletus. So Cletus is slowly but surely was reeling him in and reeling him in and reeling him in, and he finally got the job done. Looks like about a lap or two ago at this point here now as we're watching that crazy battle in the mid-pack there. But Cletus now up sitting in 3rd place as Fluka is chasing here in 4th place, and his teammate having a pretty spicy race here today. Griffin 283 here, this man has been battling hard tonight. He has been rubbing paint and rubbing tires with several of the drivers here battling for position, and Ram 317 has been along the whole way in behind them here as well. So Ram 317 very closely paced with the Ferrari here as well as that BMW in behind. And the battling for this driver, I feel, is not nowhere near done yet tonight. We've got Rigo now up into 11th place here for the Mercedes. You can see Darmel just in behind there. He's chasing JDR, who's about 3 seconds up the road in the Lamborghini up in front here. So the 911 driver of this Mercedes currently sitting in 11th place and about 3 seconds behind 10th place. Nacho Gearbox, another Mercedes AMG driver here around COTA today. He's got a little bit more of a gap on Darmel there, but doing his thing and getting that very valuable experience and seat time in. And that is the most important thing here. The league racing gives you valuable experience. It gives you that seat time, and the more time that you can get in behind the wheel on these sim racing games, obviously, the easier it becomes for you to learn how to become quicker and more consistent as a racer. So JDR, our 10th place driver here for Team Lamborghini, and our number 430 car here tonight, Italian flag up in the side window there. We'd love to see that. You can see, we haven't seen much of this driver here yet tonight, but again, every lap around the racetrack is very valuable. Even if you don't think you're having a good race, it's still very valuable information, and the seat time does matter. So Johnny B here in the lead, 2.5 seconds now from Critico. So Critico gaining a little bit of time back on Johnny B, so just maybe a bad lap or a little mistake, or Critico has just decided that he's going to try and put a little bit of pressure on our race leader and see how he reacts. I'm not sure exactly what the situation is, but the gap is definitely closing between first and second place here currently. All right, going back down into 13th, we got Make It Rain. He had to start a drive-through penalty, so the drive-through penalty cost him several positions, going from 5th place all the way down to 13th here, and that was just due to too many track cuts here. So we got both drivers going around Tango 2 there, so Tango 2 just giving the drivers the room to go around as he's getting that blue flag wave, so great job there by Tango 2. And Tango 2 is just motoring around here doing his thing in 16th place currently. GLR Seal here in 8th place. Oop, there we go. Get back on board with this driver. He's got Ripe Jazz there in behind the 7th place, so Ripe Jazz having a pretty good solid race here. Consistency and just doing his thing and sticking to his race plan right now. And he's found himself moving his way up through the top 10 here currently. And right now on the hunt for a 7th place position with GLR Seal here. So it's going to be NSX versus BMW potentially here, as of course Jazz does try to catch up to GLR Seal here. And the live timing is really messed up here today at COTA, that is for sure. Alright, let's move over to our 3rd place driver, another BMW driver here, Cletus. We know this driver, he's done very well in the last series that we had here a few weeks ago, and starting off pretty good here in this series as well. So quick driver, he's going to be looking to capitalize again on a smaller field here today. All these drivers have an opportunity to really build up some solid good points and really try to secure a good footing in the standings moving forward. There's still 6 rounds remaining after tonight's race, so there's plenty of time for championships to be won and lost here in this summer series from Infinite Racing League. Ooh, big hit here from Tango 2. Oh, look at that BMW. The front end is just crumpled there. The suspension is rocking. That was a big hit here from the BMW driver here, and we'll have to see if that team can get this car back on track, or if that is going to be day over here for Team BMW and Tango 2. Our number 26 driver having a tough day on the racetrack here today. So it is Ram 317 here, and he's now up into 5th place. And Ram 317 started all the way in the back of the pack. He didn't run any qualifying laps here this weekend. He came out and he started right at the back of the pack, and he's finding himself up in 5th place. He has found his way around Griffin 283 here now, and looking to start to try and charge up to Fluka. Now Fluka is 10 seconds up the road from our 5th and 6th place drivers. So Griffin, and this guy has been working hard all race long. Out of all the drivers on the field here today, this yellow and red Ferrari has by far been the hardest battling car on the racetrack. No question of a doubt. Arcano Marcio, who's had his own battles here tonight on the racetrack for the Porsche, the only Porsche in the field here as well. It has been an interesting race for him here so far, but much like last week, he just continues to put that lead foot forward and just keep sending this Porsche on the racetrack, and it worked out pretty good for him, if I'm not mistaken, in round 1 at Laguna Seca, coming in with a decent finish here, and still sitting in the top 10 side of the grid here, so points-wise, looking really solid here, currently sitting in 10th place. All right, let's go to Ripe Jazz. I haven't gotten too much time on Ripe Jazz here yet as the car itself. We've seen him lots in the pictures. We're following other drivers here, but as we come around, and with Ripe Jazz here, number 11 driver, and again he's in that Honda NSX GT3 race car, and we've seen that car pick quite a bit since it's been released in the updates and whatnot, so seems to be a pretty solid running car here on ACC, and I can't say for myself, haven't been behind the wheel of it yet myself, so I can't really speculate, but again, one of those mid-rear engine cars, so they got a little bit of a knack and a trick to him to drive, so looking like he's doing quite well here with it in 8th place here currently so far in the race. We're almost 30 minutes in at this point, so we're going to be at the halfway mark here in about 8 minutes time, and it'll be interesting to see when the drivers are going to start thinking about making that pit stop. So Critico here in 2nd place, 4.1 seconds behind Johnny B. So a little give, a little take, a little give, a little take between our leaders here, 1st and 2nd place drivers. We've seen that gap as close as 2.6 seconds there for a little bit, but now it's back up in just over 4 seconds. So Johnny B doing a pretty good job at managing that gap so far to 2nd place here in the race. Darmel, this driver has had a pretty up and down race here so far. He's now cleared his mandatory 25-second fuel stop here, and we'll have to see how he can recover from here. Now we know he's quick, he qualified very well here, but perhaps just struggling a little bit with that Ferrari. Now he did come from Aston Martin last season and jump into Team Ferrari here this season, so it could just be still figuring out the learning curve of the car here a little bit as well. Teammate Fluka here is going to come in. He's going to make a pit stop here. So as we talk about when these drivers are going to start making those sets of pit stops here, we have the number 18 pro driver of Fluka for Ferrari here coming in to do exactly that, clear that mandatory 25-second fuel stop that is required out of our drivers here tonight. Griffin 283 here in 5th place, still sitting right there in behind Ram 317. You can see a very bumpy racetrack here as well. You can see it's an older asphalt surface. The asphalt is very gray here at COTA, and the plus side is to that, of course, it takes a little bit longer for that asphalt surface to absorb the heat, but to see the track temperature up at about 38 degrees Celsius right now means that it has been having the sun beating down on it for several hours here today. So tires are definitely going to get chewed up here around the racetrack in that extreme heat condition. The drivers are going to be very hot. Of course, there's not air conditioning in these race cars. You can see what their airflow is. It's a tiny little window in the door window there, and a little bit of a tiny ventilation system that kind of points at the driver from outside clean air, basically. So the drivers are also battling extreme heat conditions in these very hot race cars. When a race car driver gets out of their race car, they have potentially lost up to 5 to 10 pounds in body weight just due to sweat loss. So a little fun fact for real life racing right there, and that is why that's why they treat their regiments like athletes treat their regiments, like a hockey player, baseball, football player, basketball player, a soccer player, whatever your sport is out there that you prefer to play or watch. It's all about your meal, your nutrition plan, your exercise program, and even though these guys are sim racing, it's not a lot different. By the time you get over an intense battle like some of these drivers are going through after 70 minutes of racing behind our sim rigs, our wheels, we're sweating and we're dripping and we're tired, we're exhausted, our joints are sore, our bodies hurt. It is the real deal. So even though we're just sim racing, these drivers are in a sense battling the elements themselves as well. Oh, and Darmel is going now clear to drive through penalty here, so it has just gone from bad to worse for some of our drivers here in the field today. Consistency is always key. Knowing those track limits and trying not to step past them. We got Leandro coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. How you doing, my guy? I hope you're doing fantastic today. ATK Motorsports up in the house. Let's go, Fluka. Hey, we love that. Let's go, Fluka. All right, so let's get us caught up here. All right, Johnny B, our race leader, 4.3 second lead on second place driver Critico Basilico, number 1 on that car. Of course, again, last season's champion, so he does have the right to wear the number 1 on this racing car here this season. Has opted to use that right, so the number 1 signifying last season's champion here on this race car. All right, make it rain here in 9th place. So this driver's had a tough race here so far, and moving his way back through the field. Still has to clear the mandatory pit stop here, but has had to serve a drive-through penalty here in the race for just some track cut violations. So race control hammering down on these race car drivers very early on and letting these drivers know that there is not a lot of leeway here. Oh, and Marcio going way wide into the final corner there. And that's going to be most likely a track limit warning for that driver as well. And the driver's struggling here in the heat at COTA today. And I'm not surprised to see that. It is hot out there at the racetrack. Cletus here in 3rd place, our number 41 driver here. He still owes a pit stop here as well. And there we go. The 911 is going to get a stop and go 30 seconds for speeding in pit lane coming from race control there. So our Mercedes AMG driver is going to have to now do a stop and go penalty within the next 3 laps of the race as well. So again, race control watching everything these drivers are doing with an absolute fine-tooth comb here today. Tango 2 here in 16th position, and you know, not out of the woods for potential position gains here yet, I don't think. Obviously with penalties starting to play a factor into the race, if he can keep it clean the rest of the way through here, it might give him an opportunity to gain some positions due to drivers picking up these drive-through and stop-and-go penalties. Ram 317, this is a driver of the day so far, starting at the back of the pack and all the way up into 4th place. Now it's a 30-second gap to the 3rd place driver and himself at this point, but nonetheless, coming from 16th to 4th place at the halfway point of the race, this driver has done a fantastic job at a number 8 BMW. Getting the job done here today. 7th place Arcano Marcio. Now of course he's still owing a pit stop, so when the pit stop sequences all filter out, it's really going to kind of determine where everybody's sitting and then how this race is really going to break down for the remaining X amount of minutes until everybody clears their pit stops. What do we got? Ripe Jazz up at the 6th place here, so gaining another position. And you know, we talk about consistency, we talk about not making those mistakes, not picking up those penalties. This is one of those drivers that's doing much of the same thing here today. He's been very consistent. He's just stuck to his race plan, and he's kept it right and tight as far as race control goes, and so far being rewarded in 6th place. He doesn't have any immediate battle right now on top of him. And number 83 stop and go for speeding in pit lane as well. So we are seeing race control putting the hammer down. And that is Griffin 283, the Ferrari driver, red and yellow Ferrari driver, getting called for the stop and go penalty there as well. So boy, oh boy, this is going to change the way that this race shapes up and finishes here today. Nacho Gearbox here in the 13th position right now, and much of the same thing, just sticking to his race plan and putting in those paces and getting that seat time in is super important. JDR here in 12th place, and he had Cletus just go around him here, so some of the cars a lap down, but again, those drivers that are lapping these cars are drivers that still owe that pit stop. All right, scary guy for you here in 14th position as well. So new face here in the Summer Series GT3 Championship. Love to see the new drivers coming out and seeing what they can do here. And he's got Arcano Marcio starting to close in here. So this is a blue flag situation, as obviously Arcano is our 7th place driver and Scary Guy is our 14th place driver. So we'll see how these two manage this position. Ooh, and the Audi getting it over the sausage curbs there, going for a little bit of a rough ride, but does allow that Porsche driver to get through and continue on unaffected here. So great job by Scary Guy. But it is Johnny B still in the race lead. Now it's 6.2 seconds to Critico here. So Critico losing a little bit more time to the race leader here. And right now it looks like it might be a battle to hold on to second place from Cletus. But Cletus is behind by quite a few seconds, almost 17 seconds there. So have to see what happens. We'll have to see what the pit stops do here. Make it rain in 10th place. He's on the recovery here. He had a drive-through penalty he had to serve. He's now cleared his pit stop. He is now on the road to trying to finish the race in the best position that he can. GLR Seal, another racer, having a good race here today. We haven't talked too much about this driver. It's been pretty quiet for this driver, but finding himself sitting currently in 5th place, 6 seconds up the road from Ripe Jazz. So our number 83 driver has 2 more laps to serve that stop and go penalty for speeding in pit lane. And boy, race control is unforgiving tonight at COTA. Cletus here in third place, and our leaders still all owe that pit stop, that mandatory 25-second fuel stop here in the race. So that will be 25 seconds that the rest of the field that has stopped will gain on those leaders. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. So driver number 911 getting one more opportunity to clear that stop and go penalty, or boy oh boy, he's not going to want to see what race control is going to do about that. Recommend taking that stop and go penalty. The team could be maybe arguing it with race control right now, which is why they're waiting very till the bitter end, but it's looking like race control is not giving any leniency here tonight. We are now officially at the halfway mark of our race here this evening. So Tango 2 now up into 15th place. So we talked about just, keeping it mean and clean, and he's keeping it right and tight here, and he might gain some positions yet in this race, and that is exactly what's happening here now, grabbing one spot here up into 15th position. We've got Ram 317 here in third place and looking really strong now. And who was our third place driver there? It was, I don't remember, Fluka. So a pit stop must have been made there. Arcano Marcio here in 7th place, still owing his pit stop as well, and getting that corner a little bit wrong there, and that's going to be okay as the car in behind is a lap car. So Ripe Jazz now in 6th place. He's got Arcano 4 seconds in behind, so he does need to be aware that car is there, but he doesn't need to concern himself with the fact that car is right there, as in, I'm going to lose this position, I need to change my lines. He just needs to continue to put in good quality laps here, and only 3 seconds in behind the 5th place driver here now, so we're going to have to keep our eye on that and see if he starts closing him in. Alright, so we got Critico here. He's now in the race lead, so he does owe that pit stop. So I'm guessing that Johnny B has made his pit stop here, and we'll find out where he sits in. Oh, and as Critico just comes in to make his pit stop. So it looks like Darmel has got that Ferrari parked in the garage for the day here. So one of our blue and purple Ferraris down and out here for the race today, and one car down behind the wall here today. So Fluka in 8th place, clearing that pit stop. So that is what we're seeing. We're starting to see our race leaders coming in, starting to see them clear them pit stops. Rigo's coming in, clearing his penalty from race control right now. We got Nacho Gearbox here in 13th position. JDR is up in the top 10 here again, and he's right in where he qualified right now. So no gain, no loss right now currently for this driver, and he's only about 3 seconds in behind Make It Raymond and McLaren up ahead. So both drivers have cleared those pit stops, so it is potentially a full run to the finish line, the checkered flag here. Scary guy for you here in 14th position. You can see he's chilling in behind our 7th place driver Marcio. Johnny B, who was our race leader, now has of course cleared that pit stop, comes back out in 4th place, only about 6 seconds in behind Cletus. So take it back, looks like Cletus just came into pit lane there, or just came out of pit lane, not sure. We're waiting for all the live timing to settle out here, so let's just keep going through the field while our live timing here at the racetrack sorts out where everybody is as the pit stop starts to happen here. So we are under pit stop sequence basically now is what's happening. The majority of the drivers starting to probably feel the lack of grip in the tires underneath their race cars, so they're probably looking for that fresh set of tires and going to try and send it the rest of the way through. JLR Seal still in pit lane. We've got the Mercedes driver coming out right now. We've got Cletus up into 5th place here currently. Ripe Jazz still owing a pit stop here up at 4th place. Race control coming across saying that the Mercedes 911 driver Mercedes is good to go. They have cleared that stop and go penalty at this point. We have Tango 2 now in 15th. So the next positional driver is 10.3 seconds up the road, and it looks like he's actually gaining on him a little bit, which is Rigo. So Ram 317 currently right now in the race lead, but again, still owes that pit stop. So at some point, he is going to have to make that pit stop. Griffin 283 with a stop and go penalty there in 12th place as well. Unfortunate there for that driver. So Arcano Marcio coming out of pit lane here now, and currently looking like sitting in 8th place. So 2 drivers still on the racetrack owing that 25-second mandatory fuel stop here today. And it is Ripe Jazz and Ram 317, the BMW driver, currently leading our race here. All right, Basilico here in 3rd place, still chasing Johnny B, and now the gap is 7.6 seconds. So once Ram 317 does make that pit stop, it will go back to these drivers as he doesn't have the gap to open up and hold his position after making the pit stop. Now, Fluka, where's Fluka? Fluka's in 6th place here, so Darmel's teammate in the other Ferrari, blue and purple Ferrari here, still continuing on. So one more lap for Griffin to get that stop and go penalty cleared as well. Race control coming down with a final warning there, letting that team know he has to make that stop next time around. Fluka in 6th place. He's rocking and rolling here, and he's looking pretty good so far. Total Energies on the back of that car as it comes around. So he's a little bit green here currently on the racetrack, and I'm not sure which driver owns the fastest lap on the track right now. We'll have to pay attention here next time through the field. But Griffin 283 here in 12th place, and again, he's going to cost himself about another 45-second trip through pit lane here as he enters towards the latter part of his lap. Rigo here maybe, just maybe, might benefit from that as he's sitting here in 14th position. Nacho Gearbox now up into 11th position here, and well, slow and steady, grabbing himself some positions here in this grid tonight. We got JDR now in 9th place and starting to put some pressure on Arcano Marcio in front of him there in 9th. So this is potentially a swap of positions that we just missed due to what I'm seeing on the timing here right now. But a great battle obviously being had by these two drivers here as JDR is trying to close back up to the backside of Marcio here to re-engage for that 9th place position. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. It is Johnny B here in 2nd place, and Johnny B is the fastest man on the racetrack currently here with a 2:07.580 being the fastest lap currently. That is on the racetrack. We still have 28 minutes and a little bit to go here before the checkered flag drops here tonight at the Infinite Racing League here at COTA, but Johnny B looking to take the lead once Ram 317 clears that pit stop. Make It Rain here in 8th place. He's got himself a nice little tidy gap, 2.2 seconds on Marcio there in behind, and he's a little ways away from Seal in the BMW up ahead of him there, 13.1 seconds. So it's going to be a tough call to close up that time there. GLR Seal, who we were just talking about, we got Cletus here in 4th place, and to start lap 19 here with just under 28 minutes remaining. So see if he is up, and he is up a little bit. So personal best lap as he comes around there as well that time around. All right, so Stango 2 here, he's in 15th position, 9 seconds in behind the next positional car here. So he is closing in on Rigo ever so bit by bit here. So maybe he can get himself up there and get another position before the end of the race here. But our race leader, Ram 317 here right now, he is the one kind of in control of things here. He's just cruising around. But you can see just off a little tiny pixel in the rearview mirror up there is our 2nd place driver, Johnny B. Bangin', that Audi driver. So he's there, and Ram at some point is going to have to make this pit stop and give this race lead up. I guess it depends on when he feels he's going to lose the least amount of positions once he enters pit lane. I'm not sure what's going through the thought process in the mind of the driver. Obviously, it's just speculation, but if I were the driver in this situation, that's exactly what's going through my mind. I'm trying to monitor as much gap as I can, and ideally, hopefully, still have a battle for a podium once I come out of pit lane. So that may be what we're seeing from Ram here right now, a little bit of strategy at play, but we'll have to see how it all works out for him once he finally does decide to make that pit stop. Now, the advantage is that the 5th place driver, Ripe Jazz, also still owes a pit stop at some point in the race here as well. Driver number 555 getting a drive-through penalty for track limits here as well now. So, boy, oh boy, that is GLR Seal, our 7th place driver, and oh, that is devastating as Make It Rain is only 16 seconds behind, and he's going to give up at least 3 positions when he race. What's up, Brandon? Let's go for hype. Marcio right behind Love Go teammate, go. Hey, we love seeing that. Everybody's coming in and rooting on tonight. Absolutely legends, every one of you. We appreciate all that support. So here we go. Ripe Jazz coming in. He's going to make that mandatory 25-second fuel stop here right now. I believe we've got the driver of 283 there serving a mandatory stop and go penalty there as well. And now our 7th place driver also going to need to serve a drive-through penalty within the next couple laps here as well, which will definitely drop him some positions in the grid here. Critico 9.3 seconds in behind Johnny B in 2nd place right now. Darmel here again retired for the evening. Fluka here in 6th place. He's been having a pretty good race here, but I think he probably was hoping for a little bit more with such a great race start here. But just a little bit off the pace of Ripe Jazz up in front of him here right now. But he might gain this position here with the pit stop. So we could see Fluka move up into 5th place, and that is the case here as, again, Ripe Jazz in there getting that pit stop, getting that fuel, doing what he's got to do here. So Fluka jumping up into 5th place. All right, Rigo here in 13th position. We've got Nacho here in 11th. We've got JDR here in 9th place with Arcano up in front of him here. So I'm a little bit confused by this. I think it should be Arcano in 9th and JDR in 10th. There we go. JDR is now in 8th with Arcano now in 7th. Make It Rain moves up into 6th place with, of course, the pit stop from... maybe the drive-through penalty from GLR Seal, and that is the case. He just coming down from race control that drive-through penalty has been cleared by driver number 555. Let's see, we got Johnny B here in 2nd place. He is, what's that time gap here behind our current race leader? It's about 3 seconds, so gaining on Ram 317 here is Johnny B as well. Make It Rain here in 6th place now and almost back to where he started before he had his drive-through penalty in 5th place. But Fluka is the man that he's chasing, and it is 25.9 seconds up the road from this driver currently here right now. But Make It Rain benefiting from that penalty from GLR Seal. Arcano also jumps up a spot, so does JDR, and that puts GLR Seal down into 10th place. So Ripe Jazz comes out and also scoops position on that driver as well, currently in 9th. Cletus in 4th place. He is 13 seconds down the road from our 3rd place driver, Critico. The podium, once Ram 317 pits, is pretty much decided because right now Cletus is only 23 seconds behind Ram 317. And with the 25-second mandatory fuel stop there, that is not going to quite be enough time to come out in front of that driver. So it's going to be interesting to see when is Ram going to make the call here. When is he finally going to go into pit lane and make that pit stop and clear that mandatory pit stop here? Because well, the pressure's on. Johnny B's right there, and he is closing in on the back bumper of the number 8 BMW here. So Johnny B looking to get the job done there. He has had an opportunity there maybe to take it up the inside, but he's just going to settle in behind Ram 317 now. Obviously, Johnny B may be aware that Ram still owes a pit stop here at this point, and he's just being patient and waiting for it to happen. Doesn't want to make a mistake or doesn't want to have an accidental incident, maybe battling into a corner. But Ram 317 definitely playing the defensive position here as he's really trying to park that car on the apex right now, and that's could potentially be costing him even more time to Johnny B as well. So let's stick on with this here. This is a battle for the lead. And I think Tango's going to come into pit lane here now. He realizes he's got to make this stop now. So there we go. Tango 2 making a pit stop. Going to get the race lead back to Johnny B. That's going to put Critico and Cletus in the 2nd and 3rd place, potentially. Where is Ram going to settle out, and how far is the gap going to be, and how much time does he have to make up? So Arcano now up into 6th place has gotten around Make It Rain. So Marcio on the charge here in the dying 21 minutes of this race here, and grabs himself another position on Make It Rain. So Make It Rain making some form of mistake there potentially, and Arcano taking full advantage of it. Ripe Jazz here sitting in 9th place, 5 seconds down the road from Team Lamborghini driver JDR and really that mid-pack group of cars. So it is Critico now in the 2nd place. 8.8 seconds is the gap to Johnny B, and that was 9.6, so about a second gain here last time around. Again, Darmel just has that car parked there in behind the wall here currently for the day, and it is Fluka here in 5th place to his teammates. So Fluka has a ways to go here for the next positional car It's several seconds here. So Fluka right now is in no man's land. He just needs to just keep putting in his laps and not make those mistakes, and then see what happens as he progresses through the remainder. Ooh, we just got a scary guy for you having a moment there in front of Rigo, and this is for position as well. So Rigo, scary guy for you for 12th and 13th place. This is a positional battle. So let's stick with this for a minute here, as scary guy for you having a scary moment there, coming off the exit there, getting a little bit loose, but he gathers that car up and still manages to somehow hold the position from the Mercedes driver in behind chasing as well. So, ooh, Mercedes gets a good run through the exit there, and you can see just a little tap on the back end of that car there, obviously an unintentional tap, but got a great run, as I stated, out of the exit there. And there he goes, he gets another great run, but he's got to settle back in so he can make sure he makes this corner. So definitely trying to maximize his exits here. And is he up the inside? Oh, side by side. A little bit of a tire rub there between the two drivers, but great respect given between each other there. And so far, the Audi is winning this battle against the Mercedes, but what a great battle it really is here, as these two drivers are coming around. Ram 317 in 4th place, just in behind them, and it's about 30 seconds to the 3rd place driver, Cletus. So that is where Ram 317 settled out after that pit stop here. And you can see a little bit of late communication happening here between the two drivers, just letting them know that he's going. Oh, and another little tap there from Rigo to Scary Guy. Yeah, this is a great battle between these two drivers here. Rigo's just getting some great runs on that Audi, and he just can't quite get that car position just in the sweet spot there to get the job done. So he's had to back off a couple times and reset the move up. But he's got lots of time here. He's still got 19 minutes. He's right there. He's in the fight. He doesn't want to make the big mistake that takes him off the backside of this battle. So he's been doing a great job of managing it here so far, and you can see he's really trying to maximize. We're really trying to find a way around this driver here. And this is a great battle right now between these two guys. Again, going to be looking for the exit here on that Audi is that Mercedes, and he's going to try and use that power underneath the hood of that AMG to try and get the run done here. So let's see if he can get it done this time. And he goes up the inside. No mistake this time. Make sure he gives himself plenty of room, and he cannot get the power down enough to get out in front of that Audi. So Scary Guy doing a great job holding off Rigo here for the time being for 12th place. But this is a absolutely great battle here in the back part of the pack between these two drivers, and a mistake made by the Audi there. And, ooh, maybe a little mistake made by Mercedes, but it looks like he's still got the better run there. So side by side as we're coming through the corner here, and it's going to be Mercedes. Oh, he gets nipped. He just gets touched a little bit right there. He gets spun around. He just taps the wall there, and that is going to cost him here. He's got 18 minutes left. Let's see what happens. Whew, tense moments here. Great battle that happening, and he just went to go move in front of that car that he just finished passing, and he didn't quite have him cleared there, and a little bit of contact as he came across the front end of that car. That was unfortunate there for Rigo, and that was a great battle though. JDR here in 7th place, and the Lamborghini driver's been doing a pretty good job here. He's got Make It Rain down in 8th place in behind, starting to chase him back down, trying to make something happen here. Man, I had a solid race going too. What a drag. Hey, it happens, brother. It happens, Griffin. It happens, my guy. Shake it off, my man. Shake it off. Scary Guy here, having that great battle with Rigo, and Rigo's right back into the fight here again. He is tucked right back in behind that Audi car and closing. So this is going to be battle rejuvenated here between these two drivers, but what a great battle that has been so far. And Tango 2, technically a blue flag marker here, so he's gotten his lap back essentially from these two guys. Now just trying to get away from these two guys. And if Rigo catches back up to the Scary Guy here, we're going to see this battle rejuvenated. And with that being said, that might give Tango 2 the opportunity he needs to get around. Oh, and the Audi took a look in there, and that was risk versus reward there, as he put the car up the inside of the corners, and that's going to be Rigo getting the job done there. So Rigo's going to get the move back, and a little bit of impatience there from Scary Guy, and it cost him a couple of seconds in a position there to Rigo in behind. So, whew. That is some great racing in the backpack right there. Let me tell you, that is some spiciness happening here tonight on the racetrack from Infinite Racing League. How you doing, Brad? How are you, my guy? Coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. We appreciate you, my dude. All right, Johnny B, yeah, well in control here right now. He's got 24 seconds on Cletus in 2nd place. Make It Rain up into 7th here, Ripe Jazz down into 8th. Now JDR all the way up into 5th place, so the Lamborghini is making some moves here right now on the racetrack, and Arcano is just up ahead of him there in 4th place. So Marcio is having a great finish, and you know we said that the last round he just kept pushing and ended up in that top 10, I believe, and had himself a pretty good race, even with the little bit of a disaster race it was for him at the same time. So much of the same thing here, but with 15 minutes left, it is really crucial now not to make those track limit mistakes here. Those race control penalties will most certainly end your race with this much time left on the clock. So the drive-throughs, the stop-and-go penalties, the drivers really need to keep it right and tight here as they come around the racetrack now. GLR Seal here in 9th place. He is one of those drivers that had to suffer a drive-through penalty a little while ago, and it cost him from all the way down from 5th place to 9th here. So the drivers, Cletus here in 2nd place. So I'm not sure what's happened there. We've got Ram in 3rd place. What has happened to Mr. Basilico here? He had a good, healthy, sizable gap there. Let's see if we can find out what happened to our NSX driver here. We may have an NSX behind the wall here. I'm not sure what's happened there. JDR here up in 6th place. So interesting things happening here. That puts Fluka up into 4th place now. Wow. Interesting series of events happening right there. Could be a disconnect potentially. It's hard to say what happened. He could have wrecked. He could have, much like round 1 late in the race, had an incident and then wrecked that race car and had to put it behind the wall. But losing our 2nd place driver, Castillo Basilico, and that is really unfortunate. He was having a fantastic race here for himself again tonight, and JDR is starting to put the pressure on Marcio, and he gets a great exit right there, and he is right on the backside of that Porsche, and Marcio has to slam on that loud pedal to get away from that Lamborghini here, as he didn't quite get that corner right. So JDR starting to apply some pressure here to the Porsche up in front. So let's see who's going to get the job done here between these two drivers. They have been very close together for the majority of the race, nose to tail or within proximity of nose to tail of each other. And I think that's all about to start kicking off between these two, as the Lamborghini driver just seems to have the better car currently right now. And we're going to see some defensive driving coming from Marcio there. Try to break the slipstream a little bit there, but it opens up the inside position coming into the corner, but he goes in late on the brakes. Can he hold the corner against the Lamborghini, as the Lamborghini gets a nice tight exit out of there, and he does just manage to stay ahead of that Lamborghini driver for the time being. But boy, what a great battle we have here with 13 minutes remaining in this 70-minute endurance race here this evening. And these two have been battling pretty good all day long, back and forth at bits and pieces throughout the race here. So battle on between the Lamborghini and the Porsche drivers here, and definitely some great watching happening right now. You can see Make It Rain just up in the distance there as well. Only 2.6 seconds up the road, so if these two drivers really start to battle, that could be an opportunity for Make It Rain and Ripe Jazz to gain some track position there. Scary Guy here still currently sitting in 12th place. We've got Johnny B still leading the way. Number 1 car, of course, last season's champion here, so he does have the honor to wear that number 1 this season. Make It Rain here in 7th place, and Ripe Jazz is right there on the back doorstep of this McLaren driver. So Ripe Jazz in the NSX is having himself a really great race here tonight. And again, so just a driver who's really stuck to their race plan, just try to keep it really consistent, try to keep it really mistake free, and has had a really great race here in round 2 of the GT3 Summer Series. GLR Seal here in 9th place, still holding a top 10 position here for him, even having to serve a race control handed down penalty. Cletus now up into 2nd place here himself, with Ram up into 3rd place. And I mean, driver of the day right now, definitely, if there was an award for that, would be belonging to Ram 317, coming all the way from the back of the pack, now sitting on that bottom step of the podium. We've got Tango 2, he's now up into 13th position, so just keeping that car running and on the track has gained him a couple more positions on the track, and that means that's that many more points that he may not have been expecting the way the race started for him here this evening. Let's get back to this battle between 5th and 6th place, Arcano and JDR here. And you can see Make It Rain and Ripe Jazz kind of all coming into the picture here. They're really starting to close in on these two as well. So potentially a beautiful 4-way battle here in the mid-pack before the end of this race is developing right in front of our eyes here at home. So the fans, they got to be screaming. They got to be excited right now here in the grandstands. Things are really starting to kick off here. The drivers are really starting to push. They're really starting to trying to close in on each other. They're really trying to gain that last position that they can get. And it's making for some great action here so far at the end of the day. So with 10 minutes, 45 seconds remaining, the Porsche driver for the time being holding off the Lamborghini chasing. All right, Fluka here in 4th place, and Ram 317 is only 11 seconds up the road in front here. So Fluka making a little bit of time up here, maybe, just maybe with 10 minutes to go, maybe can make himself in a position to have a shot at that podium here before the end of the day. Rigo, who we've seen having an absolutely cracking battle with Scary Guy there, is sitting here in 11th place. So we got Nacho here. He's holding down our top 10 here right now in the other Mercedes AMG on the track as well. So back to the mid-pack fight here. Let's get on board with our Lamborghini driver here, Marcio. And, well, this is what it looks like from his point of view right now as he's trying to chase down Arcano Marcio in that Porsche up ahead. You can see he knows there's 2 cars there. You can see him in the review mirror when you peek up at that mirror there. You can see there's a couple of cars battling in behind there as well. Make It Rain and Ripe Jazz, our 7th and 8th place drivers here. So a little bit of a wheel slide coming from the Lamborghini coming out of that corner there in that Costume. But you can see about 1/10 of a second in behind the Porsche here. So really getting the lines right through these flowing sectors of the racetrack is crucial, and it's tough when you're in dirty air. So the Lamborghini driver of JDR here right now, who's currently sitting in 6th place, is exactly dealing with that dirty air from the back of that Porsche. So all that air rushing over the Porsche is going into the front end of this Lamborghini, and it tends to unsettle it a little bit. It makes it lift a little more. The aerodynamics don't quite grab as much, and the car becomes, for lack of a better word, understeery or pushy going in and out of corners. So that tends to cause a bit of a problem when you're battling for position. So here we go. He gets a great run again on that Porsche, but not wanting to make contact there. So he is taking a nice tight inside line there, and unfortunately that is costing him some time on Marcio up in front. Yeah, so interesting little battle these are having between these 2 drivers here. Keep applying the pressure. Maybe the driver in front makes a mistake, but JDR is definitely keeping the pressure on the Porsche driver here currently right now. All right, let's keep going through the field here. We've got Johnny B here. He has GLR Seal, who he's just gotten around. He's got Ripe Jazz about 7 seconds up the road in front. We have Make It Rain here in 7th position, and again, just trying to close in on that battle between 5th and 6th place driver Marcio and JDR. But those 2 drivers are doing a good job at just keeping those other 2 drivers out of the slipstream. We've got GLR Seal here in 9th place, and the next position car is about 9 seconds up the road with Ripe Jazz. Cletus here in 2nd place, and it's 28.3 seconds to our current race leader, Johnny B, who has navigated around our 10th and 9th place drivers at this point. So Cletus is just getting up to some of the lap traffic here around the racetrack. Tango 2 here in 13th position. He is doing his thing. He's got the 3rd place driver of Ram 317 just up ahead of him there as well. 3rd place driver Ram 317, and just putting in some good solid laps and just keeping it right has definitely paid off for this driver. Started in 16th position here today, did not qualify under qualifying conditions, and has found himself up into 3rd place. So Arcano Marcio and JDR, this great battle between the Lamborghini and the Porsche cars here today, and this may very well be a battle right to the bitter end. Both of these drivers seem to be exactly on point here right now, and then you got Make It Rain and Ripe Jazz in behind battling for 7th and 8th place as well. So a couple of healthy battles happening around the racetrack here. And let's see if the Lamborghini gets a better run this time, as the Porsche went a little bit wider than usual coming into that corner. Oh, we got a move coming in behind from Ripe Jazz on Make It Rain. Looks like Ripe Jazz gets the job done. He's going to move himself up into 7th place. So Ripe Jazz taking advantage there and getting a position into turn 1 there ahead of Make It Rain as well. So some great battling here in the mid-pack between 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th place drivers. Oh, there we go. Ripe Jazz and Make It Rain here. The two drivers just battling in behind the two we were just watching there. Ripe Jazz got a great job, great move done into turn 1 there to get ahead of the McLaren drivers. So now let's see if he has the pace to try and track down that Lamborghini and Porsche driver in front. They have 6 minutes to do it. It is going to be a tall order right now, as clearly the Lamborghini and Porsche driver have had just enough pace to stay exactly that distance. Oh, and JDR makes a mistake there, and he's going to drop 2 positions in behind Marcio there. I'm not sure what happened there, but boy, oh boy, the NSX and Make It Rain and McLaren have caught right back up to Marcio here. And now this is becoming a 4-way battle for the mid-pack, and the leader, Johnny B, is sneaking right up in behind these drivers as well, while these 4 are battling for these mid-pack positions. So this race is definitely getting spicy. All right, we're going to stick on board. The Ripe Jazz as he goes up the inside of Marcio here and side by side, but Marcio has the inside line into the next corner. Can the NSX hang it on the outside here? Can he get a cut back down? He gets back down on the power. He's going to have to settle in behind Marcio. That was a great attempted move right there by Ripe Jazz, but he couldn't get the job done. He's going to settle back in the Porsche and try it again and see if he can set it up again. Now JDR starting to try and put some pressure on Make It Rain here and try to get one of those positions back he cost, but again, the leader is sitting right there as these drivers are battling for positions, so he has a front row seat to what is happening essentially in behind him, in front of him. Oh, and a little bit wide there goes Marcio, and that is going to give the NSX a run here on some clean pavement, and we are side by side as we come across the start-finish line. Who has the position? It's going to be Marcio just edging him out right now in the drag race, but it's going to give him the inside line for the first corner. Is that NSX driver? Can he get it done? Doesn't want to miss the breaking point here. He needs to keep it right and tight. Make It Rain gaining big here on that Porsche driver, and it is going to be Ripe Jazz now moving up into 5th place. What a cracking battle we have here in the mid-pack tonight. And it is JDR now closing up on Make It Rain, and we got Johnny B, our race leader, closing up on these drivers as well. Blue flags are being waved. Make It Rain is going to bail out of the corner right there, and hopefully doesn't get another penalty for it. All right, so whew. Ripe Jazz here. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get on to a different part of this battle here. Let's get on to JDR here as Johnny B's now coming down on him. Obviously, JDR is not going to want to just let Johnny B go around here because he is in a fight for some positions here. But at some point, Johnny B is only going to sit back there and wait for these positions to open up for him. So you can see JDR is going to give him the space here right now, and he's going to tuck in behind. Hopefully, that allows him to catch back up to the pack that he's battling with the leader also trying to go around. As they slow down and let the leader around, that might be what JDR needs to catch back up to that back and re-engage his opportunity at more positions here in the race. But this mid-pack has been fantastic to watch so far today. All the action has been in this mid-pack as we got Make It Rain here in 8th place. He is now in behind the Porsche driver in 7th, and he is trying to apply some pressure here. Johnny B going up the inside of Make It Rain, and Make It Rain's going to give him the room, and that's going to allow JDR to close back up on Make It Rain, and that is what we expected to see as the leader starts to navigate his way through this mid-pack battle. And the Porsche driver Marcio going up the inside of the NSX here. We're back to the drag race, but the NSX has the position coming into this next set of corners, and he's going to stay out ahead of the Porsche driver. Whoo, things are getting heaty here at COTA. It's hot out on the racetrack, and boy, oh boy, these drivers have turned it up another notch. Let's keep going. Make It Rain here in 8th place, and he has let that leader through, and he hasn't been able to tuck right in behind Johnny B, and he really needs to get closer to the leader here if he wants to have a crack at those 2 cars in front. At some point, those cars are going to have to let the leader through because he is putting the pressure on him. That should allow the rest of these drivers to catch up. So here we go, coming into turn 1. Let's see how Marcio handles the leader up inside of him here. And let's see how much of a gain can be made from the drivers chasing. Make It Rain right on the bumper of that Porsche. JDR again taking that tighter inside line with that Lamborghini, and this battle is re-engaged. This is a full functioning 3-way battle. 6th, 7th, and 8th place here. Re-engage Porsche, McLaren, Lamborghini. Battle is absolutely fresh and alive and thriving, and Johnny B has just made his way around Ripe Jazz. So all 4 of these drivers are back in it, and then Marcio getting the job done, and Jazz losing 2 positions to Make It Rain takes advantage, and Marcio is going to jump back up into 5th place. Make It Rain's going to go up into 6th. Ripe Jazz down into 7th, and JDR now up beside him in 8th place trying to grab that 7th place position. So some great racing happening between these 4 drivers, and they are stealing the show here tonight, let me tell you what. All right, Ripe Jazz, JDR, and now who do we have in behind? We have IRL now into the battle. This has now become a 5-way battle for position with 1 to go. Are we ready, chat? Whew, I don't know if I'm ready, but let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it rolling. Wow. Some great racing happening here. We're going to stick with Make It Rain here, and he is still trying to find his way around Marcio in that Porsche, up in front in 6th place. Ripe Jazz in 8th, GDR in 7th, and Seal in 9th. 5-way positional battle at the end of a 70-minute endurance race here at COTA between these 5 cars. This is what it's all about. Let's go. And every one of these drivers handling themselves extremely well with the pressure, handling the close quarter fights and racing going on here, handling the leader coming through the pack while they're battling for position. Everything done right here at the end of the race between all these drivers. And boy, it's making for a great showdown. So here we go. We got 23 seconds remaining of the timer. It is going to be our final lap here, I believe. Let's see what race control has to say as Johnny B comes across the line. All right. This should be, if I'm not mistaken, our final lap. So the timer has officially ran out here. Now, whether or not these drivers are going to go one more lap after this, I'm not sure. We didn't see that white flag come from our flagman as our race leader came around there. So there may still be this one plus another lap to go here. But these drivers, they see the leader up there, they see that the timer has ran out, and they know they're in a fight for position. And we got another lap car involved into the mix here. So Marcio gets around, Make It Rain gets around, JDR has to check up a little bit. That's going to cost him some time on this battle, and Marcio gets it a little bit wrong there. Make It Rain is right on top of him here now as they enter the next corner. GLR Seal tucked in behind JDR there, and Ripe Jazz must have made a mistake as he's fallen in behind this battle. And there we go, Make It Rain is going to have the inside line there as Marcio goes super wide out of the corner. He comes back out in front, but race control is not going to like that, as that's going to be a track warning. 100% for Marcio up in front of Make It Rain, and that is not what you need this late in the race. All right, GLR Seal here in 8th place, so you know, putting his head down, and it paid off here for him. Ram 317 here in 3rd place, but I want to get back up into this battle right here, right now, between Make It Rain and Marcio, JDR, and Seal. It was a 5-way battle there for a while, and here we go. Make It Rain putting some pressure on. He's hung out on the outside there. Can he get a good exit out of this tight corner and get a run on the Porsche driver here? He cannot. So we are going to continue around the racetrack here, and oh boy, 3 drivers really tucked up nice and close together here, within a second apart from each other. And is this going to be it? JDR taking a look on Make It Rain there. He's going to have to be on the outside though, and that is buying some time for Marcio here to hold up that position in 6th place. There we go. Leader has come across in the win here. This will be checkered flag, and it looks like Marcio is just going to hold on to a P5 finish here. Boy, a well-earned P5 finish for that driver. We got Make It Rain coming through there in 7th place. Looks like JDR is going to come through in behind, and yeah, that was some tight racing right there. We got GLR Seal not quite across the finish line there. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe they crossed. The finish line could be a little further back, and I'm unaware. All right, so we still have Fluka coming around here. He has yet to take the checkered flag. We've got Tango 2 up in front of him. Our 3rd place driver, Ram 317 there as well. We're going to have, there we go, yet that is the checkered flag is further back there, so I was correct on that. All right, so let's head to the garage. Let's go see what our results are. That was some pretty crazy racing right there, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go see our end result. It was Johnny B with the race win and fastest lap on the racetrack here today. Cletus coming in with a 2nd place finish. It's going to be Ram 317 here as he comes around to take the checkered flag here. He's still on track, so we'll stick with him here until he gets that flag waved. And he's just coming around the final corner here right now, so he'll take that checkered flag right there. All right, so 3rd place finish for Ram 317. We got Fluka coming around to take that checkered flag here in 4th place as well. So a great race here from Fluka in that Ferrari today as well in his return back to the season. I was going to put Marcio in 5th place, and boy, what a hard-fought earned 5th place for this driver. JDR is going to finish in 6th. Make It Rain is going to finish in 7th. GLR Seal is going to finish in 8th. Ripe Jazz will finish in 9th position. It's going to be Nacho Gearbox in the top 10. Rigo C24 in 11th place. It's going to be Scary Guy 5 for you in 12th place. Tango 2 in 13th position. Critico Basilico in 14th. Griffin in 15th. And Darmel in 16th position. Retired early from the race were a couple of our drivers here. Brad coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Much love. We appreciate you, my guy. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody enjoyed that race. That was a doozy. Spicy action coming from the mid-pack here today. And wow, that was some great racing right there. That was some pressure. That was some great defensive driving. That was some great battling, especially from the mid-pack. I mean, wow. Great racing. Man, I had a solid race going too with a drag. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Whew. I'm sweating. That was some racing right there, and I'm not even on the track. I'm just in the booth here this evening, but boy, the drivers, they stepped it up tonight. Wow. G's to all the drivers. So we're going to jump in the Discord server here. Of course, our top 3 finishers do have an opportunity to do some interviews, so just bear with me here. I shut Discord down just to try and help the stream. So we'll fire it back up. There we go. Now we'll just give it a minute. Now, it's not mandatory that the drivers come and talk to us after the race, obviously. If they do, of course, we'll have a few moments. We'll have a few words with the podium finishers, and we just give them a chance to talk about the race and how things went, and you know, if things went to, you know, we just take it as it comes, basically. But yeah, so we'll just hang out here for a little bit. We'll give the drivers a few minutes, obviously parking the cars and celebrating with the teams and debriefing and all those things that happened. So a good job to all 16 of our drivers here on the track tonight. And well, what can I say? That was some great racing. IRL Infinite Racing League never disappoints with this GT3 Sunday series, and well, the mid-pack stole the show tonight without a question of a doubt. Driver of the day definitely still belonging to Ram 317, in my opinion. If I were to hand out a driver of the day award, it would be handed out to Ram 317. Our third place finisher did not qualify in the race today. Started at the back of the grid. Now that may have been maybe to a ban or a penalty that I'm not aware of in behind the scenes from round 1, but nonetheless started at the back of the pack, coming all the way up to a third place finish. That was a great drive by Ram. Yeah, our race winner has jumped up into the race interviews here, so we'll give it just another minute or two here, and then we will have a chat with Johnny B. So, again, last season's champion, I don't think he made last week's race, if I remember correctly. He really needed a good, strong performance here this week, and he got it. So, coming in with a big race win, trying to defend that crown, obviously. And we'll have a chat with him here in just a couple minutes. So, well, actually, we'll have a chat with him here right away. Just let me hit my buttons. All right, we got 2 of the 3 drivers up in the house here now. We've got our second place driver up in the house here as well. Fantastic. All right. Let's get some audios going for everybody here. All right, well, let's start with our second place driver, Cletus, BMW driver on the track here today. Of course, was competing last season in the last Sunday championship as well. And coming in with a nice second place finish here for you today. It was a fairly good, clean, quick start for you. You had a relatively uneventful race as far as having to battle and really fight your way through, and kept it pretty mean and clean and right and tight. So a hot track out there today. How was that for racing around here at 70 minutes today?
I mean, it wasn't fun, that's for sure. It was difficult, you know, trying to make sure the tires lasted, but had a decent strategy. Qualified on used tires that I used in practice, so I had 2 brand new sets for the race. Seemed to pay off. Was able to keep pace. Got held up for a little bit behind the Ferrari, just trying to make sure didn't try to get any track cuts or anything like that. But all in all, happy with it. You know, not my strongest track, and it's probably not the strongest track for the BMW, so can't really complain. I think it was for me. It was pretty straight away. You know, if I could get a decent pace in practice and a couple of laps with heavy fuel, I practiced with about 70 liters of fuel in. So I knew if I was in the top five, I think I had a shot at being in the top five in quali. It was in the back of my mind that if I had to throw on a brand new set for qualifying, I could, and just try to get one flyer lap. But it worked out. I was able to get a top five. Wasn't blistering fast, but it was enough to get me there. And then knowing that I had the two brand new sets for the race kind of made it a little more warm and fuzzy feeling for me.
Absolutely. Now, every round this season obviously has a different kind of a mandate for pit windows or pit stops or requirements for tires this season, and that just adds to the toughness of the series as well. I mean, you guys already have it tough with the real life weather track conditions on the tracks as you're racing from week to week. You spend a lot of time practicing, training, tuning, trying to get everything dialed in for the car, but you never really know what to expect until race day. So, how does that factor into your strategies coming into to each round, to each week's racing?
I mean, I would say probably this week wasn't the best for me for practicing. I think I only got a handful of laps during the week or the 2 weeks. Um, but I'm fairly familiar with the track, so I think that that helps. Setup wasn't probably exactly where I would have liked it. Definitely had a little understeer in the car that I didn't like, and then had a tendency to really understeer in the slow speed corners. So definitely there's room to go back and fix it when I have to come back here again. I think for the driver swap race coming up, so definitely there'll be some fine tuning coming forward.
Absolutely, but nonetheless, I mean, consistency. We say it all the time. Consistency really is key in endurance style racing, and the least amount of mistakes you can make and just keep the car out of trouble typically is going to end up with a fairly good result. And tonight, finding yourself in a second place position and putting a pretty good points total up for the remaining 6 rounds of the season. So I guess anything you want to add to the race today, and any shoutouts?
I think it was an all-in race. I think the league did a good job trying to make it a challenge for everybody. Congrats to Johnny. He was fast right out the box. Um, as usual, he's the one we're gunning for. He's got the number one plate on it. And congrats to, I think it was Ram was third. So it was a fun day, fun night. So definitely no complaints on my part.
Absolutely, and again, great racing this week, and we can't wait to see you at Donington next round.
Yep, thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as we check our interview booth here, we've got our race winner here with us, and last season's champion as well. So again, as Cletus had just finished saying in the interviews, there, everybody's chasing the car with the number one on it, and that is Johnny B and that gold Audi. So. A really great race from you tonight. You got out in the lead right at the beginning of the race, and with the exception of the pit stop, you pretty much held the race lead for all of it, and really a pretty relatively unbattled drive for you, I guess, in a sense here tonight. So, talk us through how it went for you here tonight.
Uh, I was pretty fortunate. It's a track that I feel pretty good on, have a lot of time on. So strategy wise, it was able to, really be to my benefit where I didn't actually go out and practice. Figured take the first couple laps of quality to get kind of up to speed, and managed to have a fresh set of tires for quality and then two for the race. Like it, thankfully it worked out. I didn't put in a very good quality lap because my first, I think, two or three, keeping it between the lines was a struggle. So they were invalid. So I was able to get on the front row, and then I just wanted to jump out and get some clean air early, and thankfully I did. And on new tires, the car felt like it was on rails, especially through the S's and the technical section. So it was very fortunate.
Absolutely. No, I mean, obviously very comfortable behind the wheel of that Audi car. We see you in it last season. You're back in it here this season. You competed in other series with the car as well. Is that really half the battle when it comes to racing, and sim racing, competing in leagues? Is really just being comfortable with the equipment that you're using on the track and, of course, at home?
Yeah, I think so. Like especially in the S's at COTA, you have to be really familiar with your car because going through there, especially into the final left, it's if you're at all unfamiliar and you try to brake on an unstable platform, right, while you're still turning something like that, you're just going to kick the back end around and cause yourself all kinds of problems. So familiarity is definitely helpful. And, and that Audi's pretty much good everywhere, but especially tracks like this, like you were saying with Cletus about the front engine cars struggling. I was able to get the car rotated so early in a couple of the corners that it was a major advantage to have.
Absolutely, and we've seen the front engine cars especially struggling well and battling the midship cars, especially through those more technical sectors. They just couldn't hold the run through the corners. They would really have to wait to try and set up that final sector exit and try to get the run on the straightaway to get at those at the cars with the mid engines here today. But let's talk about that mid pack battle near the end of the race. There's about 6 minutes remaining. You catch up to the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th place and 9th place drivers at that time. They're in the thick of an absolutely mega battle for position near the end of the race, and you got yourself stuck in the middle of that. I mean, let's talk about that. Navigating through that, what was going through your mind when you came up to that and seeing that those are all position battling cars?
Well, I was in kind of a weird spot. So, like, I had a decent lead. I think I was up maybe 27, 28 seconds on Cletus, but maybe 10, 15 minutes prior, I got my final track warnings for going out. So I was one more away from catching a penalty. So I couldn't really stick behind the pack I caught up to because I needed to try to build that lead out right in case I caught a penalty to give me some kind of chance. So I just tried to get through them as respectfully as possible. I know they were battling. I mean, you had 4 cars there within probably 2-3 seconds of each other, all battling for position. So, like I said, I tried to just lay back, be respectful, and I was able to get around them. I don't know. Some of them seemed to be on older tires, so I was able to get some good runs and kind of get around them. But it got a little hectic for about 2 laps when I was in the heat of it.
Absolutely, and that was an ongoing battle with that group of cars for a large part of the race. Really, it was some really great battling in that mid pack and behind you. So some of the drivers definitely earning their keeps here on the racetrack today. But I mean, you just got out in that clean air, and you didn't make the mistakes. Like you said, you were aware that you were on your kind of your final leg with race control here tonight, and you just took the extra precaution to make sure that you kept it right and tight. And if you didn't, you were like you just finished saying, trying to make sure that you're at least in earshot is still battling for P1 if you did have to make that devastating stop at the end of the race. But another great race from you, and we're seeing lots of new faces and lots of different competition here so far throughout the rounds as well. So, how is that getting used to as well? You're driving with lots of new faces all the time. How does that factor into your preparedness for the racing?
Well, you don't know, what's safe, right? You race with the same people week in and week out. You get a feel for what their strengths are, their weaknesses, where you might be okay and don't need to really, pick up any more time. You always want to, but you kind of know where you stand. With some of the new folks, you don't really know what kind of pace you're dealing with until you get out there, and you don't really know what their tendencies are. So it does make it, a bit more tricky. But like anything else, you had to learn the people you've been racing with. You got to learn the new people too, and you just kind of go through it.
Absolutely, and definitely seeing lots of new faces coming through the series here so far this year. So we love to see that. And well, I guess the big question is all the races out there, whether you're just watching or maybe you're thinking about getting involved here at the PS5 ACC version. I guess the big question I have for you is, do any of you have what it takes to take number 1 away from Johnny B right now with a great race finish here this week? You missed last week. Am I correct on that?
No. I was there last week. My performance was just so mediocre; it was very forgettable.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, I was. But after the way last week went, Laguna is not a great track for me, and I made some silly errors, so I was out for blood this week. I was going to give everybody my best shot because I can't let them pull too far away.
Absolutely. Well, fastest lap here for you tonight and a race win here tonight. That should definitely help jump you back up into the top side of the standings there and, well, continue your charge for a repeat championship. So a great racing from you tonight. As always, you had great pace out there tonight. And we thought Basilico was really going to have something for you there tonight. But again, unfortunately, near the end of the race, they're having to just retire that car. So some unfortunate racing for a couple of our quicker pace drivers here in the series this week. But right now, Johnny B looking to shake down 2 championship back-to-back here. So is there anybody out there that can put a stop to the charge from Johnny B? We appreciate you. And I guess anything you want to add to your race here tonight, and any shout-outs, my man?
It was a good time. Competition was good. Always fun doing these IRL races. And look forward to Donington next week. And interested to see who's in the field and give it my best shot and see if we can't keep a good performance kind of stacked up.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely look forward to what the gold #1 Audi is going to bring over there in the UK and next weekend for round 3, and that will be live here at Infinite Racing League, ladies and gentlemen. So put it on the schedule, because this week's race is any indication on how the rest of the season is going to go. You're not going to want to miss a moment of the racing action. Congratulations, Johnny B. Great racing tonight, and we'll see you next week, my guy. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Great work as always. Excited to watch the playback and see the action.
Oh, it's a good one. You'll enjoy it.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so great racing, and we don't have round 317 with us here, our third place driver, and let's talk about round 317. I'm not sure what the deal was with why he didn't qualify here today, but he opted out of the 20-minute qualifier round before the race started. He started in 16th position, found his way all the way up to P3. That is no joke. That is an impressive drive with the craziness and all the action and all the battling and all the hard driving and the good pace we've seen on the racetrack here tonight. Round 317 probably had the best drive out of any of the drivers here tonight. Our leader had a great drive. Cletus had a great drive as well. But when it comes push to shove, this man had to get through the whole field to find that podium here tonight. And he found himself on that final step of the podium here tonight at the Infinite Racing League. So with that being said, major props to round 317. Great race from him here tonight. And, I mean, what else can you say? G's to all 16 of our competitors here tonight. 2 to not. 3 drivers behind the wall by the end of the race here tonight. But you know what? That is what happens here at Assetto Corsa Competizione, PlayStation 5 version at Infinite Racing League. The series is not for the faint of heart. It is designed to be hard. It's designed to challenge you. It's designed to put all your skills and everything you know about racing, the cars, and the tuning to the limits. And that's why we love to bring the action to everybody home at their big screens. We appreciate everybody for coming out. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the comments. You guys, gals, came out smashing flying tonight. Facebook, YouTube, just absolutely killing it out there with cheering on these drivers and bringing huge hype to the chats. And I thank every one of you for that. That brings huge hype in the commentary booth. And the more hype we have here in the booth, the better the calls are going to continue to get for all the viewers at home. If you haven't liked and shared the stream yet, please, if you wouldn't mind doing so before you leave here this evening, smash those buttons for us. They're free to do, and they do help us grow. And if you're new to the channel and you just loved what you saw here from the Infinite Racing League at Assetto Corsa Competizione, do us a favor, hit that follow or that subscribe button so you never miss another moment of the racing action here at Infinite Racing League, partnered with Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid. And IRL can be found on SimGrid as well to sign up for these amazing Sunday GT3 Series events. They will be live all season long right here at Infinite Racing League.
They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be rude.